Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. I think we are back live to you folks, but this time you can see the book better. I apologize. I changed my camera and it doesn't, it does this a little differently. Okay, so once again, Dolly Parton, I Am a Rainbow. We'll start from the beginning. Okay. Colors make up our whole world, everything we say and do. But did you know each boy and girl is made of colors too? When I'm tickled pink, it means I'm feeling dandy. Everything is great and sweet as cotton candy. But guess what happens when my sister pulls my hair? Then I turn red. I'm as angry as a bear. If Mommy says time out, I pout for a minute or two. Then I get bored and sad, and I feel kinda blue. Sometimes I get jealous. Then I'm feeling green. That happens when I'm left out of a happy scene. When I'm feeling scared, kids call me yellow, but I can find my courage and be a brave fellow. When we all play together, it makes me feel so cozy. My mood is joyful, and then everything is rosy. So remember, as you go from hue to hue, that each and every person has feelings too. It's not always up to you, the way that you feel, but how you act is a different deal. So be a rainbow, shine above, and filter all your glow through love. It's nature's way, these colors you show, so simply say, I am a rainbow. And at the very end, there's a message from the author, Miss Dolly Parton. When I was just a young child, I wanted to see a rainbow every single day. No matter how I was feeling, seeing a rainbow always made me feel happy. Then one day I figured out how I could see a rainbow every day. All I had to do was reach up and pull that rainbow right out of the sky and place it in my heart. May you all carry a rainbow in your heart, so whenever you need a moment of joy, you just let that rainbow out of your heart and watch it jump back into the sky. And there we go. There's the end. Now you may have heard a little bit of roofing in the background, so I'm gonna call my little friend over, because if you look, and I'll show you a little close up here of this rainbow picture. Let's see. Here we go. Here's the rainbow picture, and Miss Julia included underneath the umbrella a little orange doggy with the boy and the girl in there. And so we're going to meet the little orange doggy, because that's who's woof woof and Honey Bear. Come on up here. Come on up. Say hello. Yes. Here she is. Here's the little orange doggy. And she's a little, this is my dog, Honey Bear. And let's see. Honey Bear, say hi. Well, she's not big on saying hi. She's really bad on camera, actually. We keep trying, but you know, she's squirmy. All righty. All right, so that's her her audio debut as well as her art debut as well. So we have a couple of books where bravery is sort of a theme that we have today. And so our next book is called Tomorrow I'll Be Brave by Jessica Hische. Okay. And here we have a beautiful picture of constellations and our title page. Tomorrow I'll be adventurous. I'll play and I'll explore. I'll make or learn or try something I've never done before. There are all different things that you can do and try. Tomorrow I'll be strong. I'll climb and jump and run. It doesn't matter if I win as long as I have fun. Tomorrow I'll be smart. I'll think before I act. I'll solve a puzzle, read a book, and learn a fun new fact. Tomorrow I'll be curious. Please teach me something new. I'll ask why 1,000,000 times, maybe 1,000,000 too. Tomorrow I'll be creative. I'll color and draw for hours. I'll play a game of make-believe and use my magic powers. Tomorrow I'll be confident. I'll be proud of all I know. I'll stop and smile and think about how much you've helped me grow. Tomorrow I'll be brave. There's nothing I can't do. I won't be scared, but if I am, I know that I have you. Tomorrow, I'll be all the things I tried to be today, and if I wasn't one of them, I know that that's okay. But tonight I'm very sleepy, so now it's time to rest. Tomorrow, I'll be all these things, or at least I'll try my best. And here we have all the words that we can be written in the stars. Adventurous, strong, smart, curious, creative, confident, and brave. So our next story is about about 3 very brave young people and someone else who's kind of brave too. Kind of an interesting story, and it's a spin on an old favorite, and it is called The True Story of the 3 Little Pigs. And it's written by A. Wolfe, as told to John Schaeska, and illustrated by Elaine Smith. And so, here we go. Everybody knows the story of the 3 little pigs, or at least they think they do, but I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolfe. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But, like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house of straw? So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in?" No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. And that's when my nose started to itch and I felt a sneeze coming on. And so, well, I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed a great sneeze. You know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He'd been home the whole time. Well, it seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw. So I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just laying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar, so I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house out of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in?" And he yelled back, "Go away, wolf, you can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on, and I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze, and you are not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. And when the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Now, you know, food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake, so I went into the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He'd built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in?" And do you know what that rude little porker answered? "Get out of here, wolf, don't bother me again." Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, too. And he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear, sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig! I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on, and I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again, and the third little pig yelled, "And your old granny can sit on a pin!" Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. So when the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break down this pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. And the rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting, so they just upped the story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. And that is the real story of the 3 little pigs. Or is it? Or is it? Well, that's just some food for thought. So we have one more poem to read. We actually have 2 poems. I think we can do 2 poems tonight. And our poems tonight are from a book that I like a whole lot. And it's called The Bill Martin Jr. Big Book of Poetry. So we've got a couple of poems, and one is called A Social Mixer by X.J. Kennedy. Father said, "Ha ha, I'll fix her." And he threw Mother in the concrete mixer. She whirled about and called, "Come hither." It looked like fun. He jumped in with her. Then in to join that dizzy dance jumped Auntie Bee and Uncle Ance. In leaped my little sister Lena, and chuckling Chuck, her pet hyena. Even Grandma Fanshawe felt a yearning to do some high-speed overturning. I'll shouted through the motor's whine, "Ah, come on in, the concrete's fine." I jumped in too and got all scrambly. What a crazy, mixed-up family. And the one on the opposite page is just as silly. And I think we can all relate to this. My Little Sister by William Wise. My little sister likes to eat, but when she does, she's not too neat. The trouble is, she doesn't know exactly where the food should go. And I think we've all had babies in our family like that. So for PJ Story Time, that sort of does it for Poetry Month. So I hope you enjoyed these poems. I certainly have too. And so before we go tonight, we'll do our Open Shut Them song and we'll say goodnight. Okay. And we're going to do the signs for them. Not open shut them. We're going to do goodbye, friends. And so our sign for goodbye is like this. Goodbye. And our sign for friends is you crook your one finger over the other. Well, let me put them in the screen there. So goodbye, friends. It's time, and you point to your wrist. It's time, just like you're pointing to your iWatch or your watch. Time to say, we point to our lips, say goodbye. All right, we ready to sing? Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. We'll see you guys next week at 6:30. You have a good night now. Be good.